Okay, now we're going to work on the game of singles. And when you're playing singles, you're going to have two players. Okay, we're going to call the person who starts the point the server, and the other player that he plays against the receiver. Okay, when you decide who's going to be the server and who's going to be the receiver, you do it by spinning usually a racket or flipping a coin. Okay, and most of the rackets either have initials for prince. They have P or D, so you spin, the person spins and the other person calls out P or D. Whoever wins can elect to either start the game as the server or pick the side that he wants to be on. Okay, and he can be the receiver. And so once you start the game, you have to find out where we stand in singles. Okay, and the first rule is that the server always starts the game on the right side of the court. Okay, so the server is always on the right side of the court, and the receiver is on the left side of the court, somewhere about halfway. Let's see. Let me start again. Okay, the server generally starts serving he starts on the right side, maybe about 3 feet over from the service marker. Okay, and he serves to the left service block. Okay, the receiver, okay, will generally stand somewhere in this position. In beginners, he may stand in the inside, and in the more advanced tennis, the receiver will stand outside the baseline. Okay, the server has alternates between serving one point to this side, and then once the point starts, okay, the ball can be hit back and forth anywhere on the court. Okay, and it is playable as long as it doesn't hit the net, or if it doesn't bounce twice, or if it doesn't go, if you're playing singles, if it doesn't go into the alley. Okay, either one of those alleys would be an error, or if it goes outside here, anywhere outside here. So the points go back and forth. If it bounces twice, you lose a point. If it hits the net, someone loses a point. If it goes into the alleys and you're playing singles, someone would lose a point. If it hits the net and goes over and continues into play, and it lands in a good area, then the point continues. Okay, and if it hits a player, okay, then the person who the ball hit loses the point. Okay, the next thing you want to know is what happens on the second point. Okay, on the second point, the server moves over to the other side, the right side. Okay, lines up about 2 or 3 feet from the center service marker, and the returner server lines up here somewhere halfway between the doubles line and the singles line. Okay, the server has 2 chances to get the ball in. He has to get it now into this service block. Okay, if he hits the first ball in and it hits the net, okay, it's called a fault. He gets 2 chances to start a point. Okay, on his second chance, if he gets the ball in, the ball bounces, the ball is hit back and forth until the ball either bounces twice, if the ball hits the net, the ball goes into the alleys, or the ball goes outside the court, and then someone would lose a point. Okay, now sometimes the server will serve a ball, and he'll serve the ball and it'll hit the net, but it will not bounce into the area that he wants. Okay, and that's still called a fault. Okay, he loses one of his serving chances, and then he is down to maybe his last serve. If a server is down to his last or second service chance and he hits the ball into the net, okay, he's had 2 faults, and it's called a double fault. When a server has a double fault, he loses a point, at which point he moves back over to here, and so forth. We have the receiver over here, and all points are started diagonal. Okay, with the server serving into this. On this side, the server will be serving into this area. Okay, and points are played out, as I said, until someone either the ball bounces twice, it hits the net, or it goes into the alleys, or it goes outside the court. Okay. Now, if a ball hits the net at just a point and it continues on into the court, that ball is good, and you keep playing the ball over again. The server can win a point if he gets the ball past the receiver and the receiver can't hit it. Okay. If the ball falls on a line anywhere in here, the point is considered good and it's continued to play. So let's review. The two players who are playing are the server and the returner server, or the receiver, and you spin the racket with a pick either the P or the W, or for Wilson pick the W or the M or anything like that, or call this up and call this down, okay, and decide who wins. Person who wins decides if they want to serve or if they want to pick one side or the other based on the weather conditions. Once you start the server position and the returner position, server always starts on the right side, okay, generally a couple of feet from the middle, and he serves the ball into this service block. The returner is usually somewhere about halfway between the two sides where the serve is being directed. Okay. On the next point, the server moves over to this side on the second point, and the ball must be served, okay, into this service block. The receiver moves over to here, and the balls are hit back and forth until the ball either bounces twice, at which point an error is made, the ball hits the net and the error is made, or the ball goes out of the court, or it goes into the alleys. If the ball hits a line, it's considered a good point. So those are the basics of the game of singles, and I hope that helps.